Oh, hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
What day is it, Claire? What day is it? Thursday?
It is Thursday. It is Thursday. It is early in the morning Thursday, my
Early in the
time.
morning in Dallas. Welcome, everybody. Donna and Cheryl TV. And Cheryl has had another makeover. She's acquired blonde hair, fabulous twang.
I was like, she has? What? I am a natural blonde, you know.
She's natural blonde. Yeah, it's very early in the morning, Texas. Like you probably haven't had enough coffee yet, right?
No,
So
not at all.
over the jokes. So welcome everybody, and it's Thursday, and today on we're going to be keeping it real, Claire. We've got to do Cheryl's thing. Keeping it real. Yeah, we look ridiculous doing it. Like we cannot carry it off, but we got to do it. It look like we've got crab claws.
I know. I'm like rock, paper, scissors. What?
Rock, paper, scissors, yeah. So we're keeping it real, and we are talking today about lockdown lessons because Claire and I were chatting last week, and we were fascinated by this because when we did this question in the soul system, we'd had like so many. It was one of our most popular posts when we just said to people, what have you learned about yourself in lockdown, and like what do you not want to let go of? Is because it's going to end at some point, it's going to relax, and we're starting to see transitioning now in some spaces. And like we wanted to have this conversation because it has been so transformational for you, hasn't it? In terms of, I know some things have been in motion, but like you're going to come out of this literally physically a different person, going to a different house, going to a
yeah, it has been. And you know, a lot of that with things that I was forced to pivot to during lockdown, and so, you know, not that I'm, yeah, I try to be grateful for everything and see the lessons in it, but there are lots of really great things that are going to come out from this because of it that I would have not had the courage to do, energy to do, drive to, whatever it is. So yes, you know, whenever we come out of this, my life will look a little bit different in a lot of ways.
So different. And like for you guys tuning in, what is it for you? So what's the big thing that you've learned about yourself, your life, that you just know you want to do something with moving forward? And like, what's the biggest takeaway really? Like, what's the thing that you'll remember this period of time for? What's gonna change for you from this? So like, because when we started this, you started, you know, a much healthier lifestyle, but you were kind of keeping it to yourself, weren't you? You weren't.
Yeah. Because you know, you know me. I mean, I'm an open book with friends and what have you, but I wasn't a social media person at all. And so, you know, if you ask me anything one-on-one, I'll tell you everything you want to know. But I wasn't, you know, I was hiding behind the kids on social media, and that was about it. And so I'd had such a great experience with the program, the health and wellness program that I'd been following since December. But throw us into lockdown and I can't tell anyone about it, or people can't tell that I look and feel and act better. And so I felt it was like a mission for me to tell other people, because if I'm locked away in the house, no one's going to know. And so I started going out on social media more just to really show people that there was hope, that you didn't have to start eating and drinking and wallowing and sleeping in and all of that stuff just because we were locked in the house, and that it didn't have to be terrible. So
I remember saying to you, so many people are saying to me they're worried that they're literally going to come out of lockdown like 3 sizes heavier, and you're losing weight, so you need to tell people what you're doing.
You did, yeah.
You know, people want to hear about it, don't they?
Yeah.
Whereas you were thinking, no, it's about me, and it's not. It's about everybody else.
Well, and you know, weight is just a part of it. It's also, if you think, if you just eating and drinking and you know, watching Netflix like crazy and just not participating in your life, because you actually can't go and participate in your normal life, that's all right for a little bit, but if it goes on and on and on, it actually starts chipping away at your confidence, you're emotional, you beat yourself up about it. So then that has like a knock-on effect on every area. So it's not just about losing weight, it's about being an optimal version of you and being a strong version of you. Totally.
And your energy, like
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks, you know, you're sitting about, like you said, you're watching. It wasn't like that for us personally, but I know a lot of people like, I'm just sitting about, I'm bored, I'm watching the telly. People binge watch a load of Netflix stuff quite quickly, and then that wears off, doesn't it? And you're like, oh well, this is, you know,
well,
not gonna.
It's like Christmas. It can't last forever. You know, it was lovely at first, and then it's like what we all feel after Christmas. You want to get back to normal again because you can't keep it up. And I mean, to your point, we couldn't do that. We've got kids, and you know, I still don't know what a lie-in is. Because if I want to get anything done, I've got to like beat them to it by about 2 hours.
It was like 4:45 this morning. You got a lie until 4:45, didn't you? Like, that's lazy.
Yes, but to something you said, you know, some of the takeaways I'm going to bring from this is I thought I was a pretty efficient person before, but I wasn't. You know, I would spend, I watch Coronation Street, Emmerdale, EastEnders from over here.
Vera.
All of it. All of it. I've got it all streamed here in that, so I can sit and have a cup of tea and watch it. But there were times I would get lost in it for a few hours while the kids were at school and I work from home. And now I've had to be very efficient with time and I get a lot done. And so one of my takeaways was, goodness, if I can transfer some of this after we get back to normal, what and we're all out and about, what will life look like? Like hopefully that's one of my things. I hope I keep that up.
Yeah.
And that I don't slip back into old.
You won't, because you really want it and you can feel the benefit. Mel's really saying, I genuinely thought I was an introvert, but turns out I'm quite the extrovert, and turns out I'm quite introverted. And how does that make you feel, Mel, having that realization? So you've had this real switch in your self-image. You thought, you really believed you were one way and learned through the experience that actually you're really good with time to yourself. I think one of the things that that I've learned is very much like you, Mel. Like, I actually really enjoy a lot of space, of not being around people, which sounds crazy because I've always thought, I get my energy from other people. And maybe it's different because we were already used to doing things on Zoom. So this was our business model anyway, doing things remotely. So that didn't really feel like it changed for me because I'm still getting interaction. I mean, we were on the phone last night, weren't we, Claire? So I'm always still getting that contact. But in terms of going out, I actually really like the open spaces. I like the quietness. I like the not having the traffic on the road and being able to hear the sea instead of hearing traffic. Whereas I thought it would make me uncomfortable, but I actually really liked it.
I know. And me and Brett, my husband, talk about that all the time. Like, we've always been homebodies. So this, like, a lot of, we see friends who are saying, oh, I'm grieving the loss of going out to eat and doing this and doing that. We're like, this is just somewhat normal we eat at home a lot, which is unusual in America. We eat at home a lot, and we like to spend time just us. We actually like each other and we like our kids, and so we don't need
That's just weird.
It's just weird. I know. We talk about that all the time. We're like, I actually like you, and so I don't need other people or to be out and about to have a distraction. But we've said that, like, it's quite nice to not have to go anywhere. It's quite nice to we cook dinner every single night and sit down and eat as a family, and that pressure of what time is it? Have you got to get this done and go here and do we're not looking at the clock. So that's been really a nice addition that we want to keep up. And some, we'll always eat as a family, but maybe keep it up a few nights a week where we're not rushing in here and there, and you got to get the kids in the bath and you got to do this and do, all of that stuff.
I like the not rushing. I like the not, because even if it's not so much my work, but it's like picking Caleb up, dropping him off. Maybe it's someone's for tea, then there's a school party, then there's rugby, then there's football, then there's swimming, then there's and I don't necessarily have the answer for that, but I think I would rather, I'm seriously thinking about how do we do less of the activity and more of the family quality, because it's kind of felt like we used to have to fit the family quality time in around the activity.
I remember you saying that because I knew your schedule as well as mine, because I knew, oh, Caleb has swimming on Friday. I
Yeah.
can get Donna for like 45 minutes between this time and this time before, because she's
Yeah.
got to get him in and have his tea, and then he's going to be out again, and then he might be back at whatever. And I remember that. And so and again, in a season, that's all right if you've got like a few weeks of it. But if that's your constant, then you do feel like you're just constantly jumping from one thing to the next and not living in the moment of that family time. Like this feels to me like a throwback to things that like our grandparents would tell us about. You know,
100%. Yeah, and we didn't do it. Like we used to go to dancing on a Sunday or something, maybe. And
like once a week.
when we were a little bit older, we did like drama and stuff like that, didn't we? We used to love drama club, but that was us doing that. It wasn't a requirement in the parents to do things. Whereas I think now the kids start stuff so young.
Yeah,
I'm not in any rush to go back to that, I have to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't remember, and I've heard myself say this phrase, and the kids repeat it. Like, I don't remember my mom and dad being like, "Come on, we've got to hurry. Come on, you got to go. We got to go here. We got to go there." Like, there wasn't that constant. We got 5 minutes. Come on, you know. I just felt like it's time to go to dancing. Right, you go. You come back. You have your tea. Whatever. And mine will repeat that. Oh, just a minute. It's only going to be a minute. Or in 5 minutes. They can hear all of that kind of rush in my voice. So, yes, same as you. I don't know how I'm going to deploy trying to expand some of that, because when we go back to school and you've got to be up and you've got to be out and somewhere at a certain time, how we adjust to that.
I know that is going to be an adjustment, but I'm already thinking, like, even if it means getting up, I mean, I get up quite early because I'm like you, I have like a morning routine. I have my hour of meditation, I read, I listen to something, start to get ready. But even if it means getting Caleb up that little bit earlier, so there feels like less of that rush. I don't want to feel as rushed as, like you said, I always feel like I'm striking at him, right, come on, shoes, and then I pick him up and I'm like, right, we've got to get you to Grand's, because then you have your tea, and then you've got your football, and I'm making the commitment that I'm not going to be the striker anymore. Like, if he wants to play for 10 minutes after school, if he ever goes back to school and he's 10 minutes late getting to Grand's, and that's okay, because a lot of the time I'm trying to keep everybody else happy, going to see him, and if it means saying no to some parties, if we haven't had a lot of quality time, sometimes that might have to happen. There's just got to be more about putting the family first as a priority. I think it's a decision point.
I agree, because we've naturally been forced to do that. And of course, people who don't have kids, it might be a little bit of a different situation, but I think it's still transferable, because I think what this has all done is shine a light on relationships, how important they are, how I think, at least I'm seeing people come from a place of love and caring more, because we're all in this together. So there's less of the finger pointing and less of the aggression.
It's been more that community almost, hasn't it? Like you said, that together, like the spirit of the war. Like my
after the war,
only kids, but they used to talk about it.
Yes, because we were all in it together, and so I think it extends beyond family, where hopefully we take a little bit of more time for each other and appreciate each other and see each other, actually look at each other, and instead of it all being just about what can I get from you and what do we need to do next, because I think we've become very transactional.
That's a really good way of thinking about it, actually, and less about the value of the relationship and what we get from it as much as what we bring to it. So Yvette was just saying, I'm loving not having the rush of having to fit my life in. That's so true. That is so true. Mel was saying, I realized that my kids have people, funny and affectionate, and I love seeing this in them. Who knew that we like our own children, like on what planet? And I keep saying about Neil, I actually really do like you. Like,
it's like I like the person I picked to be stuck in, the Big Brother house with, or whatever,
And I imagine some people are having quite different experiences.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
Yvette, loving the pace of life, slowed right down. Even though I'm busier than ever, it's still a slow. So we're busy. Like Claire, Claire's got all kinds going on and building a house, and we've been busy with
you're in a pandemic.
Build a house. It's only a pandemic. It's still on track. And we one of the things that we learned with our business actually was that sometimes you just have to pivot and do what feels good and serve people. Like we didn't have a plan to do things like Chaos to Calm. We have a plan to do the self-confidence stuff, but we knew that people needed that. So it was just a case of just pivot and see what happens. And if they want to come, they'll come. And it's actually been two of the highlights of the things that we've done so far in the business.
Well, things like this that you're doing, you would have never done it before. You wouldn't have had the time. You would have been down in London doing meetings. You would have been, and I've done a lot of that too, you know, with daily Zooms with people that we would have never done that. And we've really solidified relationships because of it. But, you know, one of the things I was thinking about yesterday, kind of just thinking about what we've gained during this, I do think if anyone who's been able to find something that gives them purpose during this time, like whatever it is, you know, it doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be like one of my friends. It's exercising. She's just, that's been her thing. You know, she's really kind of thrown herself into it, but it's given her purpose. And so I think really finding something that gives you purpose is huge. And hopefully it's something you can take away with you. And I think that's part of like what you've just been saying, the Chaos to Calm. You were looking for ways to be meaningful to people, to reach people.
To add value, give them what they need. That's always our thing. And we've been doing a lot around imposter syndrome, which is still huge. But
of course it is. Just because you're behind a computer doesn't mean you don't feel it.
Exactly. It just highlighted this big crack that we just want to help people get over that initial feeling of anxiety and worry and think about the bigger plans. And that's still such a thing for people. I've had 2 conversations this morning with people where they've said it's just this forced reset has really made them think, even though they love their careers, they don't want to spend the next 10, 20 years in them. They want something more and they're not sure what that is yet. And they're scared as hell, but they know they want something more. And they just feel a bit like, it's almost easy just to go, but I know this over here. I'm just going to keep doing this. And I'm like, don't regret it. Just give yourself some space. You've been doing it for 20 years. You've got another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, God willing, ahead of you working. Like, take your time. Like, find out what it is. Don't just jump into the next thing because it's what you know what to do.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with a few people too. And I think it's really exciting. And I do the whole just get a piece of paper out and think of it like a list you're preparing for Santa. Like, what does that look like? And dream like you did when you were a kid. Like when you were a kid, you wanted to be a whatever it was, and it didn't seem like it was impossible. So, my phrase is always, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Exactly. And someday we'll find out. all the adulting is not the way forward. Peter Pan yourself senseless with a piece of paper and a pen.
So I've been wondering, and obviously time will tell, when we all come out of this, like, will we have these awkward interactions because we don't know how to be around like people in person? Like, I think for a long time, obviously we're not going to be able to hug each other. We're not going to be able to like shake hands and touch each other. But then, it's kind of, we're going to all be doing this. Like,
the chicken dance.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I've seen people. I was driving down the street the other day, and I saw some people we knew randomly. I wasn't expecting to see them out walking their dog, and it was like, people, it's the best thing ever, And I stayed in the car, and they stayed over there. But it was like,
yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But I think this is just such a good time, like you said, if you are thinking about your purpose, and this is something that Cheryl and I think we're going to help out with soon. Is just, we know that people are starting to ask these big questions, but the fear is always the bigger emotion, and it's easy just to get sucked back into that and for no change to come. So we're thinking about how we can help people with that, like on a bigger scale than just with our clients. But I think for me, the message is, think about it. Like you said, get the piece of paper or get the pad. What does your perfect day look like? What can you take forward? What can you get excited about? Don't worry about going back to normal. Like, that is not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. So just think about what you want your life to be and start creating it.
Yeah, I think that's so exciting. And, I like to think that change is on the other side of fear. So you've got to just do it scared. You've got to push through and do all of that. And the one thing, I heard this a few weeks ago and I wrote it down. So one of my goals for what life looks like is my work day looks like other people's holidays
Mm.
or vacation in America. So my work day looks like other people's vacation days. When they look at me, I'm like, this is, you're on vacation again. No, I'm actually working.
I love that.
This is me when I'm working. Just wait till you see me when I'm actually on holiday.
Really,
you know?
Yeah, the only difference is there's alcohol in one hand.
Maybe there's not a difference. I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen that cup. That's 3 liters a day that you drink. We know it's got tequila in it. That's why you're always
That's
smiling.
why you always drink clear liquid.
Yvette was just saying transactional is an excellent description. It's so true. I think the big feeling of something missing in my life was depth in my relationships, and that feels better now. I love that you found that depth. That's
love that, Yvette.
And Wendy's saying, lockup has been a wonderful time to repurpose me. Thanks to Dean. Say, you are so welcome. You're a joy to work with. You made it easy. So this is our call to you today. Get really clear about the great stuff that's going on for you now while you're still in lockdown, and think about what that looks like if you made it bigger, bolder, brighter, rolling it forward 6, 9, 12 months. Like, there is nothing that says that has to stop and the old way has to start again. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So you just have to think about, what are you creating? Yesterday we talked about that from a work perspective, but this is like even bigger. Like, how do you create that from a bigger perspective? And sometimes, I know the lady that I spoke to, one of the ladies this morning said, I think I know what I want to do, but it's just the confidence to do it. And I'm like, but assume you'll get the confidence, because confidence is like any other skill, you can create it. So if you want help with the confidence side, don't forget, you guys, this time next week, it's the self-confidence masterclasses, which we're excited for. There's one at 10 o'clock and one at 8 o'clock on the Thursday. There's over 200 people registered already. So get your space, because we have only paid for another 100 more, I think. So get your space. I've put the link in there. If the link's not popping up on whichever platform you're watching in, just let us know. And if anybody's watching this on replay and you can't see the link for any reason, if you go to my profile on LinkedIn or Cheryl's profile on LinkedIn or Facebook, it's literally right there. Just click 20 seconds, you're registered, you're in. So yes, and then you could be like Claire. New body, new life. I mean, literally, does Brett know how lucky he is that he hasn't been traded up? Like, it's about the only thing still left.
So we actually went out a few weeks ago, because we are building a new house and we need new furniture, because I got rid of all of the old furniture last year. Like, we don't have any.
You were like, you did that yard sale, didn't you? It's like, we won't need any of that.
It's gone. And so we went, like, masked and everything, to this furniture shop, and it was huge furniture shop. And I went to the toilet and walked away. So he hasn't seen me outside of the house, other than like walking up the street, but like in another.
I've frozen. I don't know if it's me that's frozen or Claire. Guys, are we still with you, or are we frozen? I don't know. Somebody tell me, can you see me, or are we frozen for you guys? I don't know if it's me that's frozen or Claire. Let me know. Oh dear, it might be me. Well, if you can still hear me and you can't hear Claire, I'm so sorry. She was telling a really good story about Brett. I think it's Claire. Oh, we've lost Claire. Yeah, so she was telling the story about Brett, and I don't know the end of it, so I can't finish the story, but I'm going to let you go because we kept you longer than we said we would. This is what happens when we get together. So join us tomorrow. We've got all of the Soul Squad. We're rounding up the week with all of our top favorite nuggets of wisdom and getting the opinion of the Soul Squad on the stuff we've been talking about. So we will see you on Friday. Have a lovely Thursday, guys. Bye.